How to Live a Happy Life with Richard D'Angelo. Chapter 6.
My name is Richard D'Angelo, and this is a series of lectures on how to be happy in your life. Chapter 6. When you came to this planet, you were a being of love. Think of a baby. A baby is love. And as a baby, as a small child, you knew nothing about where you were, why you were here, or anything about the world at all. So every day was an adventure. You explored. You determined who you were, what was around you, who your parents were, and every day was an exciting series of discoveries. As a being of love, you were completely open, an open vessel. And that continued until one day, and it may be an age in which you recall this happening, some not love slammed you. And it slammed you hard because as an open vessel, you had no defenses against whatever not love it was. Could have been anger, could have been fear, etc. And that hurt you very deeply. And that is when your mind stood up. And your mind said, that is terrible, that is awful. Let's prevent that from ever happening again. And it took that divine inner child that got hurt so badly and put it in a cage. And the mind said to you, I'll figure out how this life works so that this will never happen again. And it kept it in that cage for protection. You may even remember the age in which this happened to you. And so you grew up with the mind leading your life, reasoning and determining how best to live so that you stayed safe and never got hurt again, at least not that badly. And then you went to school to learn how to read. And that is where you were programmed. Yes, you learned how to read. And this is what you used to learn that. You may recall this book, Dick and Jane, Puff and Spot were their pets. And as you were reading, Run, Spot, Run, you were also being subtly, subconsciously programmed. Dick and Jane are happy kids. I want to be a happy kid, you said. Well, let's see. They have pets. They live in the suburbs. They have nice parents. And you were therefore controlled by the concept of the American dream. And as George Carlin once said, they call it the American dream because you have to be asleep to believe it. And to some degree, that is true. And so that is what happened. You graduated from high school. You eventually got married. You lived in the suburbs. You had kids. You had pets. And then Monday morning comes around and you don't want to get out of bed. What's wrong with me? I've got all the things I'm supposed to have to be happy. What's missing? What's missing is that divine inner child that your mind walled away so early when you were first hurt. It's still sitting in that cage saying, where did you go? I want to play. And I've been in this cage for decades. And that is the reason people are not really happy, even though they have, at least exteriorly, everything they're supposed to have in order to be happy. So it's important that you release that child from that cage in order to have a happy life. And what does the child want to do? The child wants to play. How often do you play each day? Oh yes, I know, you're an adult. You have quote-unquote responsibilities. But you also have a responsibility to yourself to be happy. Because if you're not happy, what's the point of life? And so we'll continue on in our next episode. The Power of Self-Awareness and Self-Acceptance, A Guide to Finding Happiness Within, my new book, explores all the details of these lectures and more. My book is filled with many fascinating stories and discussions focused on helping you obtain increased levels of happiness and self-love in your life. This book would be a wonderful gift for family and friends. It is available on both Amazon and Audible.com. Check out the links below for easy access.